If Russia is a paper tiger, what is NATO? Munich Airport shut by drones. Thousands stranded as flights diverted across Europe. Into the panic steps Putin, mocking NATO, joking about Lisbon, yet boasting of Russian advance in Ukraine. Trump weighs arming Kyiv with Tomahawks. Strikes that could reach deep into Russia. Europe laughs nervously at Putin's jokes, but in the skies, no one is laughing. Germany's Munich Airport reopened early on October 3rd after overnight operations were suspended due to drone sightings. The disruptions forced the cancellation of 17 flights and the diversion of 15 others, affecting nearly 3,000 passengers. Travellers were provided with camp beds, blankets and food during the suspension. Flights arriving from Bangkok marked the airport's first landings, with passengers beginning to check in for destinations such as Varna in Bulgaria. Several arriving flights had been rerouted to cities including Stuttgart, Nuremberg, Vienna and Frankfurt. Authorities reported that the drones were sighted above the airport late on October 2nd. Visibility was limited due to darkness, preventing identification of the drone's size or type. Police have not attributed the sightings to any actor. The incident in Munich follows similar drone disruptions at airports in Denmark and Norway last week, prompting European Union leaders to discuss enhanced airspace defences. Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen emphasised the need for Europe to strengthen its protective measures, while European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen warned that foreign actors may be testing vulnerabilities and seeking to create societal unease. The airport disruption adds to a tense week in Munich, which saw the temporary closure of the city's Oktoberfest following a bomb threat, along with the discovery of explosives in a residential building. The drone sightings occurred on the eve of German Reunification Day, highlighting ongoing concerns over the security of critical infrastructure in Europe. As investigations continue, authorities are reviewing air traffic control measures and anti-drone strategies to prevent further interruptions to European aviation. Russian President Vladimir Putin sought to reassure NATO countries, insisting that Moscow does not intend to attack alliance members. Speaking at an international relations conference in Sochi, Putin addressed recent drone incursions across Europe, including Denmark, Poland and Norway. He joked that he would not fly drones over Denmark anymore, referring to incidents that temporarily shut airports and raised concerns about European airspace security.
Vladimir Putin, why do you send so many drones to Denmark? They feel uncomfortable. Please do not. I will not. I will not send any more drones. Neither to France nor to Denmark, Copenhagen. Where else do they fly to? Everywhere, to Lisbon. You know, people who used to have fun about UFO things are now having fun there. There are so many odd guys there, as we have, by the way. And here we have no difference, especially if we talk about some young people. They are able to launch drones every day. Every day. So it is for them to catch it. If we speak seriously, we do not have drones which can reach Lisbon. We have some long-range drones, but there we do not have the aims. This is the most important thing. And it is just about the other way to escalate the situation, to fulfill the directives of Washington Bureau, and to increase spending on the defense. The hysteria is pumped. Now, you frighten Portugal when you mention Lisbon. They do not have a good sense of humor. Okay. We should say it was a joke. No. Sorry, so it was not a joke. It was a warning. When you are warned, you are armed.
Addressing claims that Russia is a paper tiger, Putin asked that, if Russia is a paper tiger, what is NATO in this case?
As for the paper tiger thing, I have already told you that Russia has been fighting not with Ukraine and the Ukrainian armed forces, but with all the NATO countries for all these years. Our troops are advancing almost across the entire front. In the north, the group North, the village of Yunakivka in the Sumy region, has just been taken under our control, and a half of the town of Vovchansk in the Kharkiv region has been captured. I think it is a matter of time. Our soldiers will take the second half. We are creating there a security zone. The Group West has captured the 2/3 of a large city of Kupiansk. We already have the center of the city under our control. The fighting is going on in the southern part of the city. The group south has already entered the city of Kostiantynivka, which is one of the main defensive lines such as Kostiantynivka, Sloviansk, and Kramatorsk. These are the defensive lines which have been being built for around 10 years with the help of Western specialists.
Emphasizing that Moscow has no aggressive intentions towards other countries, Putin noted that Russian forces continue to advance on multiple fronts in Ukraine. He also called on Kyiv to return to the negotiating table, framing diplomacy as a necessary step despite ongoing military operations.
What is the problem of Ukraine today? Ukraine's armed forces are supplied with enough arms. They have as many weapons as they need. In September, they lost about 44,700 people. Almost half of them are irretrievable losses. The authorities in Kyiv would better think of coming to an agreement with Russia. We have spoken about it and suggested doing it multiple times. Of course, we also suffer losses, unfortunately, but they are multiple times lower than those of the Ukraine's armed forces. And you know what the difference is? We have people coming by themselves and joining the armed forces. They are essentially volunteers. We do not conduct any mass, and even more so forced mobilization, which is carried out by the Kyiv regime.
The Trump administration this week formally notified Congress of $51 million in potential arms sales to Ukraine and its allies, signaling a continued US commitment to supporting Kyiv amid stalled diplomatic efforts. The notification covers both smaller arms exports and a larger package of defense articles, technical data, and services involving Ukraine, Belgium, and the United Kingdom. Officials say the move provides an immediate boost to Ukraine's defense capabilities while reinforcing Washington's more assertive posture. At the same time, US officials have been weighing the provision of Tomahawk cruise missiles and intelligence to help Ukraine target Russian energy infrastructure. The missiles, with a range of 2,500 kilometers, could significantly expand Kyiv's strike capabilities. Reacting to the development, Putin warned that supplying Tomahawks to Ukraine would trigger a new round of dangerous escalation between Moscow and the West. It's dangerous. As for Tomahawks, they're a powerful weapon. Granted, they're not exactly modern anymore, but they're powerful and pose a threat. And of course, this won't change the balance of power on the battlefield at all. Can Tomahawks harm us? They can. We'll be shooting them down and improving our air defense systems. Will this damage our relations with the US, which are now seeing some light at the end of the tunnel? Of course it will, but how could it be otherwise? Using Tomahawks without the direct participation of American military personnel is impossible. This would mark a completely new, qualitatively new stage of escalation, including in relations between Russia and the United States. Meanwhile, a US official and 3 sources told Reuters that the Trump administration's desire to send long-range Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine may not be viable because current inventories are committed to the US Navy and other uses. The US official stressed there was no shortage of the workhorse weapon, which is often used by the military for land attack missions, suggesting other shorter distance options could be supplied to Kyiv. The official said the US may look into allowing European allies to buy other long-range weapons and supply them to Ukraine, but Tomahawks were unlikely.